In the summer of 2018, in Siberia, a section of permafrost near the Indigirka River began to thaw, revealing part of the body of a small puppy, about 2 months old, lying beneath the ice. It was nearly perfectly preserved, and scientists determined that this little puppy was an astonishing 18,000 years old. It was named Dogger. Despite the passage of an incredibly long time, the puppy's body was still covered in fur, with its teeth intact, and even its adorable little nose remained preserved. Although it was so well preserved, scientists were still unable to determine exactly what it was, whether it was a wolf or a dog. Dogger appeared during a time when scientists believe wolves were in the process of becoming domesticated. Determining whether it was a wolf or a domesticated dog would be extremely valuable, as it could help us pinpoint the time and location where the domestication of dogs first took place. Have you ever wondered how wolves, often portrayed as fierce and ruthless in fairy tales, have now become our loyal companions? Welcome to Blog Uri Dogs and Cats channel, and today, we'll explore how dogs came into existence and became humanity's best friends. Origins and basic domestication.
The origins of modern dogs, including all the dogs we see on the streets or online, belong to the subspecies called Canis lupus familiaris. Tracing back to the Pleistocene epoch around 11,000 years ago, an extinct species of wolf considered the ancestor of modern dogs had gray fur similar to today's wolves. This species, known as Canis lupus, has no clear fossil evidence. Even the ancient wolf fossils discovered by humans do not directly link to the species that evolved into modern dogs. What scientists are certain of is that the genetic lineage of dogs and wolves began to diverge between 27,000 and 40,000 years ago. Pinpointing the exact moment is difficult because this separation seems to have occurred over a very short period. But what exactly caused a fearsome predator to transform into a friendly, loyal companion to humans? The story begins in the Stone Age, when our ancestors lived in nomadic tribes, constantly moving to hunt and gather food. In the dense forests, as the sun set, they would gather around campfires to keep wild predators at bay. One cold night in the depths of the forest, a small, weak, and hungry wolf cautiously approached a human camp. Under the warm glow of the fire, it peeked in, its shimmering eyes filled with both a desperate will to survive and a hint of hesitation. At first, the tribe, wary of danger, chased it away. But soon after, one kind-hearted member of the tribe gently tossed it a bone with a bit of meat. That moment opened the door to a connection filled with empathy. The wolf hesitated, but then cautiously stepped forward, gently grabbing the bone before retreating into the shadows as if making a silent promise to return. Day by day, under the silver moonlight and the whispers of the forest wind, the wolf grew bolder. It no longer hid, but instead began to listen to the voices of humans. The laughter and stories shared around the fire slowly built a sense of trust. Over time, other gentler, less aggressive wolves also started to appear, gradually weaving themselves into the fabric of human survival. As humans expanded their territories, food sources became scarce, forcing more daring wolves to approach humans in search of sustenance. Wolves have a unique genetic trait, hypersociability. If another being provides them with benefits, they are willing to cooperate. Humans quickly realized the advantages of keeping wolves. They not only helped guard against threats, but also offered companionship, forming a deep emotional bond. As humans transitioned to agriculture, dogs' diets evolved as well, from being strict carnivores to being able to digest starches like wheat and rice, marking an incredible adaptation between the two ways of life.
Harmony and emotional bonding.
The evolution of this relationship was not just about sharing food or hunting together. It became a fusion of souls and emotions. When people think of domesticating wild beasts, they often imagine using force, making the animals submit through violence and dominance. In the beginning, dogs were no exception. However, there were exceptions. In the early 1900s, archaeologists excavating this site discovered the skeleton of a dog. buried alongside the remains of a 50-year-old man and a young woman around 20 to 25 years old. When researchers saw such a profound connection, they knew they were looking at a fully domesticated animal, one that was cherished and valued so deeply that it was laid to rest as a true member of the human family. The Bonober Castle dog was not the only ancient canine to receive such an honor. In Ain Malaha, Israel, a 12,000-year-old hunter-gatherer site in the Jordan Valley, archaeologists discovered what is perhaps the most famous burial symbolizing the deep bond between humans and dogs. The skeleton of an elderly person was found curled up, with their left arm extended under their head, gently resting on a small puppy. The puppy, estimated to be around 4 to 5 months old, was likely placed there as a companion for the deceased. Archaeologists believe this was a deliberate and affectionate burial, showing a deep bond between the person and the dog that may have been cared for in life. While such emotional scenes between humans and dogs were rare for that era, dog burials themselves were not uncommon.
Theories on dog domestication.
Scientists have proposed several theories to explain how wolves transformed into domesticated dogs. The campfire theory. The domestication of dogs occurred before the advent of agriculture and likely began near the last glacial maximum, when hunter-gatherers relied on hunting large animals for survival. Early proto-dogs may have scavenged leftover carcasses abandoned by human hunters. In return, they could have provided assistance in tracking prey, hunting, or even offering protection from other large predators. This mutual relationship around human campsites and campfires may have been the first step toward the domestication of dogs. At hunting sites, wolves were likely drawn to human campfires, attracted by the smell of cooking meat and discarded scraps. At first, their presence was loosely connected to humans, but over time, they may have started seeing these camps as part of their territory. Their growls and warning signals could have alerted humans to the approach of intruders, creating an early form of mutual benefit. The wolves most likely to approach human camps were lower-ranking pack members, those that were less aggressive, had higher stress tolerance, and were less wary of humans. These more adaptable individuals may have been the first step toward domestication. This initiated a process known as self-domestication, gradually making these wolves better candidates for full domestication in the future. The migratory wolf hypothesis. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, wolves developed advanced pack hunting skills, outcompeting other predators like lions and bears. Some wolves began following large reindeer herds, selectively culling the weak and helping maintain the herd's health. These wolves may have cooperated with early human ancestors in hunting, leading to their eventual domestication. Over time, some ancient humans adopted a wolf-like lifestyle, tracking and herding animals such as reindeer and horses. The wolves that became part of this relationship gradually transformed into the first domesticated dogs. Genetic studies reveal clear distinctions between wolves that migrated alongside humans and those that remained territorial. This process contributed to the diversity of wolf and dog breeds that exist today. The food-sharing hypothesis. Humans and wolves were rival pack hunters, competing for prey within the same territory and potentially even killing each other. However, during the harsh winters of the last glacial maximum, when plant-based food was scarce, humans faced a biological limitation. Their livers couldn't process excessive protein from meat. Instead, they needed fats and oils from prey to survive. In contrast, wolves could thrive on a high-protein diet for extended periods. In this scenario, rather than competing, humans and wolves may have begun cooperating. Wolves assisted in hunting and provided protection from other predators. Humans shared surplus fat and oils from their kills. This mutually beneficial relationship gradually led to wolf domestication, turning them into the first dogs. Instead of conflict, both species thrived together, forging a bond that evolved into one of the most enduring partnerships in history. From fierce predators to our most loyal companions, wolves transformed into the dogs we know and love today. Over tens of thousands of years, humans and dogs have grown together, sharing joy, sorrow, and an unbreakable bond. Cherish and love these four-legged friends, for they are not just dogs, they are family, they are a best friend.
Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories.